Hello guys, and welcome back to another episode of Python programming with my computer science teacher. So in the last episode we looked at making a sleep calculator, and we're using integers. But today we're going to be looking at using strings, which are words and sentences and things like that. Okay, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to get rid of this code. I'm going to leave that top line. And remember that's to input an integer because you've got that word int. So I wanted to just put that there for reference and remind you of that. I'm actually going to get rid of that. And what I want to do is I want to create a program that checks the inputs of, like, I don't know, like a question or something. So we could create a question like, I'm going to write a variable called answer equals input, open and close brackets, in quotation marks. I'm going to say, what is my favorite brand? Okay, what's my favorite brand? Okay, and then what I'm going to do is I'm going to create an if statement that checks what's inside this variable. Now I'm going to say if the answer that they have input is equal to, double equals as well, if it's equal to, in quotation marks, Adidas. That's my favorite brand. I'm just obsessed with it, to be honest. If it's equal to Adidas, then remember I press enter and I've got this indentation which tells me I want to use this next line of code. I'm going to print, open and close brackets, correct. You are so clever. Okay, but it's not just my one of my. It's not. I have more than one favorite brand, isn't it? So I'm going to get to that in a second, but I just need to make sure I write the else part. Okay, and the else part is if I type in anything else besides Adidas, it's going to say not my style. Okay, so I'll run that program now. I'm going to clear all this because it really irritates me looking at this whole history. So what is my favorite brand? I'm going to type in Nike. I'm going to say not my style, even though I do like Nike, to be honest with you. I actually want that as one of my options because I like Nike. But if I type in Tommy Hilfiger, I don't even know how to spell Tommy Hilfiger. That's how much I don't like it. Tommy Hilfiger. Hilfiger's got to be. It's got to be some kind of. I don't know. I'm going to stop that and run that again because it started going crazy. So how about Calvin Klein? Something I can spell. Calvin Klein. This is why I'm not an English teacher. I can't spell. Not my style. Okay. But if I type in Adidas with a capital A, Adidas, then it will say correct. You are so clever. Now I was very close to writing Adidas with a single case. And I can actually do that. I can actually say if the answer is equal to Adidas or quotation marks Adidas. Now, even though that makes logical sense to us, because it means it's going to be that one or that one, the code won't work. Watch this. I'm going to run it. I'm going to type in Adidas with a lowercase, and it's going to give you the perception that it works. And yeah, it looks like it works. And if I do it with an uppercase, it looks like it works too. Okay, and everyone's gonna be like, yeah, it works. What's your problem? My problem is when I run it again and I type in Calvin Klein, and press enter, it's gonna say correct. But that's not one of my options. So the reason why that is because you have to compare a variable to a value and a variable to a value again. Okay, so I have to write answer is equal to Adidas. So I've got two options, uppercase A, lowercase a, and you can have loads of variations. You can say or answer is equal to in all caps Adidas, just in case, you know, they're just a bit shouty today. It's completely up to you how you want to do it, but there's your three options. When I run that program now, it says, what's your favorite brand? I'm going to do it in all caps, Adidas, and it's going to say correct. Okay, I'm going to run it again, but this time I'll type in Calvin Klein like I did before, Calvin Klein, and then it will work. It won't work. It will say not my style, which is working. And there's loads of variations. Clear the history. There's loads of variations. All these three variations will get that outcome now, and anything else, well, it's going to say not my style. Okay. I can actually branch this off a little bit as well. I can add an additional branch. I can say elif the answer is equal to, in quotation marks, Nike, then I'm gonna print, open close brackets, love Nike, but not as much as Adidas. Okay, so let's test that, because that's still correct answer, because I do love Nike, but just not as much as I love Adidas. You know what I mean? So I'll run that now, and if I type in Nike with a capital N, then it's going to say love Nike, but not as much as Adidas. Yeah, but if I do it with a lowercase n, Nike, not my style. Okay, which even though it is my style, but I just don't like it as much. So you just have to expand it again. So if the answer is equal to Nike, or the answer is double equal to Nike again in lowercase, Nike, then it will work. And I'll show you that it does work now. Nike, and it says love Nike, but not as much as Adidas. So that's how to use an if statement with your strings, and that's how you extend your if statement line and use branching, so you've got multiple different answers. So you can choose however you want to do it, but that's just a different way. That's just the way I wanted to show you to use it today. So what I want you to do now, go and create your own version of that. You can do anything, games, sports, football teams, football players, you know, who plays, who's the best player that's ever played for Man United, and you know what I mean, like there's so many different programs you can create. So I want you to make this one, get it up and working, and then create your own one, and yeah, just good, all good. This is good programming, guys. This is good progress. So keep up the progress. Make sure you like, subscribe, share it with your mates, and then yeah, just keep making progress. That's all I can say.